So when it comes to Mad City, there's actually a variety of weaponized vehicles that you can use. From using the Buzzard, the Cobra, to the Knight Rider, Rhino tank, anything that you can technically imagine. Attack helicopters, Rhino tanks, anti-air, stuff. But today, this topic is mainly going to be focusing on the best weaponized helicopter. And if you didn't know, there's actually four weaponized helicopters. And today, I'll be showing you each and one of every single weaponized helicopter, and let's see which one actually performs better. Oh, and if you guys do enjoy this video, be sure you leave a like, comment, and consider subscribing. I know it's weird to say this at the beginning of the video, but in case people decide to not watch the whole video, then it's a good reminder. But let's get started with the video, and I'll just shut up. Buzzard is a $2.5 million vehicle that is located near the airport. And what's so special about this vehicle is that the missile, when it finds a target, the range is pretty far. You can tell all the way over here, you can actually detect the player. When you fire a missile, it will deal 640 damage to the player, or 220 to helicopters. Aerial vehicles, and I'm not sure if it applies with the vehicle. Let me just try real quick. However, there is a blind spot with these missiles, is that if you get too close to the helicopter, the odds are you're not gonna able to hit. But I managed to hit at one point, and that did 160 to the heli. So I don't know where I got the 220 from, but that was definitely not 220. But overall, yeah, you can see it's not really that accurate. Okay, now it's accurate. For some reason, it just acts up. Okay. And it actually does take a while to kill the person, but if you do, it's pretty satisfying to kill them. But, this is not really the best weaponized helicopter you could use. Even despite the long range, it's not really that good, because, one missile, and it takes a pretty while to reload. But ever since the recent buff, which was a couple weeks ago, this is actually pretty good now. And if I remember correctly, it used to cost $1 million back in Chapter 9, but it has now cost $2.5 million. Which surprisingly, I didn't know this until later on when I found out the Buzzard costed more than I expected. I mean, after all, this vehicle kinda needed, yeah, I don't really know what to say, but yeah, that's all for the Buzzard. The Cobra for $4 million, again located at the airport. And this is actually pretty much a big misconception, because a lot of people say the Cobra is pretty bad. And why is it pretty bad? Well, you see, you can only fire, it doesn't have lock-on missiles, except you can just fire a barrage of missiles by aiming at this little, I forgot what this is called, don't yell at me, but so how to actually use this, you gotta aim it at some random player, wait for them to become an idiot, and let's see, so we climb up, and then you can just fire a barrage of missiles, and you can almost one-shot them. If you're lucky enough, however, you're able to one-shot them. Shooting you. Oh, you're dead. And yeah, these missiles, they're not too fast. So basically, this thing involves more of a skill than just relying on the system to target the nearest player based on where you're facing. And this isn't really a thug. The only reason why it costs $4 million, which I assume, is not only has a barrage of missiles that you can shoot at, but there's also a turret. For some reason I can't kill this person because you're yeah, I don't really like this helicopter. But you can kind of see how... You know what, let me just demonstrate you the second ability, which is the turret. And this is also a pretty decent vehicle. I mean, not vehicle, it's a decent weapon, but it's not really that good for aiming. Also, you kind of need a passenger for this one, so it's kind of a big disadvantage. Okay, there you go, I killed him for once. You can see there, it did a lot of damage, but it took a really dang while to do, like, destroy him. Because, you know, this thing is so bad. And, how to exactly use the turret? Well, if you want to use it solo, like, it's just best putting it somewhere on the roof, where it has, like, a little space and you're able to, like, shoot it freely. But the one downside of this thing is that it can't really, like, it's just pretty bad in general. Like, let me see if I can hit this guy. No, I can't. You can see I can hit this car, which is pretty accurate because, one more thing, by the way, this thing has, like, 600 health, which I assume also makes it the reason why it's $4 million. Because it has missiles, well, barrage. The turret, which is not too good, and it has 600 health, and I'm going to, this helicopter is going to blow up. Hooray. Let's see if it's going to blow up. Third vehicle on the list is the Raider Z. I've kind of discussed this in my other video already, but I'm just going to do it again here. And to get this vehicle, you gotta spend 4,240 or 4,440, I don't know, something like that, to get the Raider Z, which is in the biggest shop, and 4,440 or 4,420 in terms of piggy coins. And you might be wondering, how do you actually get piggy coins? Well, it's kind of over at this point, but if to get piggy coins, you were like supposed to, like, you know, do the boss fight. Kind of got pretty repetitive. Anyways, let's talk about the Raider Z. This is technically similar to the Buzzard, except the range of, like, detecting a target is shorter. But what makes up for it is that how it has, like, an 8 missiles that you can actually just hold F and just fire, which is stupidly OP. And if you do this right, you can instantly just, like, 8 missiles can, like, kill a player. But if you want to do it accurately with using the power of math, if each missile does like 20 damage to the player, then around, like, it only takes like 5 missiles to, like, do a fatal hit. If they have armor, then they'll probably end up with, like, armor destroyed alongside with, like, 40 health left. Not sure. I think like 40 health left, but the only downside about this helicopter is that there's actually a pretty funny bug, is where if you don't shoot all the missiles on once, they will regenerate. For example, I shot that one missile, but the others didn't want to work for some reason. So if I do it again, I'm gonna shoot all 7 missiles, and you can see how. Oh, okay, whatever. But there is a bug, however, where the missiles won't really, like, work. I should say I'll just leave like 4 missiles here, and I'll wait for the regeneration. Okay, if I shoot another 4, you see, I can't really shoot these 4 missiles here, which makes it pretty bad. Because now I'm only going to shoot 4 missiles instead of 8, which is something I'm supposed to be doing, but no, because I guess the scripting decides to not, like, count the newly generated missiles in, or it's just for balancing reasons, I don't really know. But this also applies to the Blackout and maybe the Raptor as well, and I don't really like it. But I guess this is for balancing. But who knows? This could be a bug, but anyways, other than that, let's move on. Blackout. Again, this vehicle is, well, like I said in my other video, this vehicle is designed for anti. So don't go off saying, oh, the Blackout's trash, or this and that. It's designed for anti-air, but you can also kill other people with it if you aim correctly. So in order to, like, kill a player with the Blackout, you just need to aim it like the Cobra, except this is actually a lot faster, I think. And also, you did kind of see that how this works is that I aim at a helicopter or any, like, aerial vehicle, hyperglider included. And if I hold F, I can like fire like a barrage of missiles, which is like 12 of them, 6 on each side, and this thing does around a total of 300 and wait, Wait, I'm stupid, hold up. Oh, this thing does like a total of 312 damage to helicopters. Which technically, this thing can like one-shot regular helicopters and the scout and, you know, anything that has like 300 HP or lower. And this thing deals 20 damage to players, I think, which is also pretty fatal because if you're good enough, you're able to take down a player with these barrage of missiles. Oh, and did I ever forget to tell you? But to get this, you need to spend 13,600 piggy coins, 15,550, something like that, piggy coins, to get the Blackout in the piggy shop, which is a celestial tier. And once again, you can't really like get piggy coins anymore, but if you do still have any like remaining piggy coins, it's pretty worth it. However, if you do notice that this again only targets air, so anyways, the second and third ability are pretty much self-explanatory. You see the R here, which is technically the cloak ability. As you can see, it goes invisible. Yeah, not surprising. Nothing much about going invisible. And what about the turret ability? Well, just like the Cobra, the turret ability is so terrible. First of all, you need a passenger, unless if you have like no friends or no teammates or whatever, you know. But the turret, very terrible. Never use a turret, man. Like, the only real reason if you want to use a turret is either you're teaming or I don't know whatever reason you got. But this, just like the Cobra, it's mid. Except this is actually a little better than the Cobra, but it's still mid. So yeah, that's all I got for the Blackout. And yeah, that's all for today's video. Before I jump into the intro, I want to like do a little conclusion to see what is the best helicopter in that city. And honestly, I would be lying if I said that the Blackout was a bad vehicle. Because honestly, I think the Blackout is deserved to be the best weaponized helicopter in the game. Not only because it's super expensive, no, not that. Why? Because the thing is, look at this insane barrage. Like, you could just, it's like overkill. And and for those who say the Blackout is trash, you have no idea what you're talking about. You know, when I was grinding for the Blackout, some people keep telling me stuff like, oh, don't grind for the Blackout, it's very bad. Well, here I am with a Blackout, and no, it's not bad. So if anyone ever tells you the Blackout is terrible, they're lying. They're either just telling you some random BS, or they really just don't know how to use this thing. Like, come on, man. You see, this thing, you know how powerful this thing is? Like, you wouldn't believe me if I tell you that this is so powerful. If you use it properly, you could take out a Raptor with this thing. And yeah, it might sound unbelievable because a Raptor is supposed to be the strongest vehicle in the game. Because, you know, it's like $11 million. But how can it be taken out by something called Blackout? Which is technically just some random stealth helicopter with like 12 missiles. Well, you see, the cloak ability is what makes the Blackout good. Because if the cloak ability wasn't for the Blackout, then this thing is like pretty useless against something like the Raptor. Because the Raptor also has a cloak ability. And if you do play it smart enough, because I didn't 1v1 with a Raptor before, so I can technically tell you that Blackout can actually counter a Raptor. And you can also use this, it's pretty effective against hyperglider users because, oh my god, those guys are annoying. Like, with the Blackout, you could just like demolish them with this. Like, if you're on a hyperglider and you see a Blackout targeting you, you better jump out of that bike. Because the second all those 12 missiles hit you, you're gonna be dead at this point. Like, I have actually taken out some hyperglider users mid-air with a Blackout, and trust me, it wasn't that pretty for them. But, other than that, hope you guys do enjoy this video, and if you do, once again, be sure to leave a like, comment, and consider subscribing. Alright, I'll see you in the next video, and, see you, I guess. Also, advanced physics for Blackout is pretty fun.